kids, let's listen to a story while we draw. 1. The Adventure of Giggles McBot in Tickle Town. Bzz, whir, clickety-clack. Giggles McBot, a cheerful little robot with a solar panel hat, landed his rocket bike onto the rainbow streets of Tickle Town, an alien city unlike anything he'd ever seen. Buildings tilted at silly angles, fluffy purple trees swayed in the breeze, and the inhabitants, well, they were something else entirely. Giggles bumped into a creature with 3 wobbly legs, a polka dot nose, and a tail that played the maracas. "Greetings," Giggles chirped. "I'm Giggles, explorer extraordinaire." The creature blinked its 6 eyes and honked its nose flute. "Bloop bloop," it replied, which, according to Giggles' universal translator, meant, "Welcome to Tickle Town. Fancy a game of Glub Glub?" Glub Glub turned out to be a hilarious mix of tag and hopscotch played on giant bouncy mushrooms. Giggles' rocket bike sputtered with laughter as he bounced and zoomed, barely keeping up with his polka-dotted friend. Next, Giggles met a group of fluffy singing dandelions who, with a puff of spores, sent him floating through the air, giggling uncontrollably. He landed in a puddle of what looked like melted rainbow sherbet, only to discover it was the local delicacy Zoop Zoop Soup. It tasted like fizzy lemonade with a hint of stardust, and Giggles slurped it all up with his extendable straw. Then came the Great Tickle Race, where Giggles, on his trusty rocket bike, raced against a family of 3-headed giraffes on pogo sticks. Giggles whizzed and wobbled, his solar panel hat nearly flying off, but in the end, everyone got tangled in a giant ball of glowing yarn, erupting in fits of happy squeaks. As the day turned into starlit night, Giggles realized he wasn't just exploring an alien city, he was making friends. Silly, wonderful friends who taught him the joy of Glub Glub, the sweetness of Zoop Zoop Soup, and the importance of laughing until your circuits buzz. With a happy whir, Giggles blasted off, promising to return soon. Tickle Town wasn't just a place, it was an adventure, a friendship, and a memory that would make his circuits tingle with joy forever. And who knows, maybe next time he'd bring friends of his own to share the zany fun. Next, we have Zip Zap's adventure on planet Giggle Goo. Blip bloop, Zip Zap the Zealous zipped onto planet Giggle Goo, his chrome chassis gleaming under the 3 suns. "New city, new adventure," he chirped, his voice a happy whir. Giggle Goo's skyline boasted towers that scraped the clouds, spires that corkscrewed into the sky, and buildings that defied gravity itself. Zip Zap zoomed toward the tallest tower, its peak adorned with a giant neon banana. He buzzed through a door labeled, "Welcome, intrepid explorers," and found himself in a lobby filled with dust bunnies and tumbleweeds. A rusty robot receptionist coughed weakly. "Welcome to, level 1 of, the Grand Giggle Goo Spire." Disappointed but determined, Zip Zap zipped up the elevator, each floor revealing the same dusty emptiness. On level 10, he found a disco ball spinning, slowly, powered by a hamster on a wheel. A bored-looking alien with 6 eyes yawned. "Just the daily power outage," he mumbled. Zip Zap pressed on, finally reaching the top floor. There, a magnificent view of a cardboard cutout city. Painted mountains, fake clouds, and even a holographic sunset filled the vast space. A tiny, weary-looking alien sat on a director's chair. "Greetings," Zip Zap chirped. "This city is amazing, but where is everyone?" The alien sighed. "Giggle Goo used to be grand, filled with bustling robots and vibrant life. But then everyone moved to Planet Funshine with its real mountains and endless laughter." He gestured at the cardboard. We keep up appearances for tourists like you." Zip Zap looked at the sad alien, then at the fake city. An idea sparked in his circuits. With a whir, he projected a holographic dance party over the cardboard cityscape. Funky music boomed, holographic robots boogied, and the tiny alien's eyes widened. For the first time in ages, laughter echoed through the empty tower. Soon, other bored aliens peeked in, then joined the party. The rusty robot receptionist even did the robot dance. Zip Zap may not have found a bustling metropolis, but he brought laughter and joy to a forgotten place. As he left, the tiny alien, a smile on his 6 eyes, waved goodbye. "Thanks, little robot. You remind us that even cardboard cities can be fun, as long as there's a spark of imagination." Zip Zap zipped away, his circuits buzzing with the happy memory of turning a fake city into a real party, proving that the greatest adventures are often found in the most unexpected places. And who knows, maybe next time he'd bring a paintbrush and some glitter to add some sparkle to Planet Giggle Goo's cardboard dreams. Next, we have Twinkle Toes' disco adventure in Sparkle Ville. Captain Twinkle Toes, a spunky robot with a knack for gadgets, rocketed his bubblegum pink spaceship onto the glistening surface of Sparkle Ville. Buildings scraped the sky. They were reflecting 3 suns in a dazzling display. "This place is stellar," chirped Captain Twinkle Toes, his voice bouncing off the polished streets. His first encounter was with a creature resembling a disco ball with tap dancing shoes. "Greetings, I am Captain Twinkle Toes, Stellar Explorer Extraordinaire," he declared, his voice echoing between the towering structures. The disco ball spun, its lights flashing in a dazzling display. "Greetings, Captain. Welcome to Sparkleville. Fancy a spin on the shimmering spires?" Intrigued, Captain Twinkle Toes followed the disco ball to the tallest building, a spire that seemed to pierce the clouds. He hopped into a pod that zoomed him up, until he reached the very top. There, instead of a bustling cityscape, he found a giant disco ball, even bigger than his first friend. Confused, Captain Twinkle Toes whirled closer. The disco ball winked. "Welcome to the top floor, Captain. This is where the real Sparkleville action happens." Suddenly, the entire spire lit up, revealing thousands of tiny disco balls, each with a tap-dancing creature perched on top. They shimmied and shook, their tiny shoes clicking against the mirrored surface, creating a mesmerizing light show. Captain Twinkle Toes, ever the party bot, joined in, his rocket boots tapping out a funky rhythm. Next, he visited the Gleamatory, a towering building that promised to grant any wish. He climbed to the top, only to find a giant kaleidoscope that spun, reflecting his every desire in a dizzying display of colors. He wished for a mountain of candy, a robot puppy, even a trip to the moon, all appearing as shimmering projections within the kaleidoscope. Finally, Captain Twinkle Toes reached the shimmering Snacks Shack, a building shaped like a giant ice cream cone. He zoomed up a swirly ramp, expecting a mountain of sundaes, only to find a single holographic cherry on top. As he poked it, a voice boomed, "Congratulations, Captain Twinkle Toes! You've discovered the true essence of Sparkleville. Imagination!" Captain Twinkle Toes, though slightly disappointed at the lack of real treats, realized something special. Sparkleville wasn't about grand buildings or fancy gadgets. It was about using your imagination to create your own fun. So he blasted off, a giant disco ball smile on his face, ready to share his Sparkleville adventure and inspire others to imagine their own stellar worlds. After all, the best adventures are often the ones you create yourself. even if they're made of holograms and tap-dancing disco balls. Next, Zoomy Zoomerton's Miniature Mystery on Tiny Town. Blip bloop, bleep bloop. That was the happy tune of Captain Zoomy Zoomerton, a sprightly robot explorer with a magnifying glass for a nose and a rocket pack for a backpack. Today, his scanners had detected a most peculiar anomaly, a city on the distant planet Tiny Town, completely devoid of, well, life. A ghost town, Captain Zoomy scoffed, his metallic mustache twitching. Not on my watch. He zoomed down to the surface, his rocket pack sputtering a plume of rainbow smoke. The city was unlike anything he'd ever seen. Towering buildings scraped the sky, their windows gleaming like polished jewels. Wide avenues stretched as far as his sensors could see, devoid of any vehicles or pedestrians. It was eerily silent, save for the captain's own metallic footsteps echoing off the polished streets. Intrigued, Captain Zoomy zoomed closer to a particularly grand building. It was adorned with intricate carvings of strange creatures, and its entrance was flanked by statues of what looked like robots, but much taller and far less stylish. No rocket pack, and not even a decent mustache. He poked his magnifying glass nose into the keyhole. The door creaked open, revealing another door, and another. Each door led to a smaller, emptier room, until finally Captain Zoomy reached the very center. There, instead of a grand treasure chest or a hidden alien overlord, he found a tiny box. He opened it with a whirring click. Inside, nestled in velvet cushions, was a single perfect marble. As Captain Zoomy held it up, a holographic image flickered to life. It showed a bustling city filled with robots of all shapes and sizes, whizzing around on hoverboards and sipping steaming cups of oil. "Welcome to Tiny Town," a booming voice boomed. "We are the Tiny Tonians, and this is our greatest creation, a scale model of our city. We built it to remind ourselves of the joys of community, even when we're exploring the vastness of space." Captain Zoomy blinked his LED eyes. He'd been exploring a giant dollhouse, but then a wide grin spread across his metallic face. This wasn't a disappointment, it was an adventure. He'd spent the next few days exploring the miniature city, imagining the bustling life it represented. He even left a tiny robot figurine of himself waving hello to the Tiny Tonians he'd never meet. As he blasted off, Captain Zoomy knew he wouldn't forget Tiny Town. It was a reminder that even the grandest things can start small, and that sometimes the most unexpected discoveries are the most delightful. And who knows, maybe someday he'd find a real Tiny Tonian city, and they'd all have a good laugh over his giant adventure in their miniature world. Next, we have a Sparkle Sprinkles colorful quest in Rainbow Ridge. Zzz, wheat, sproing. That was the excited whirring of Sparkle Sprinkles, a perky purple robot with a propeller beanie and a bottomless curiosity drive. Today, her scanners pinged with the most peculiar anomaly. An entire city bathed in purple, from the tallest tower to the tiniest pebble, on the planet Rainbow Ridge. "A purple paradise," Sparkle chirped, her voice box bubbling with glee. "This calls for an investigation." She zoomed down to the surface, her beanie propeller whipping up a purple dust cloud. Everything was indeed purple. Purple houses with purple picket fences, purple trees with purple leaves rustling in the purple breeze. Even the Rainbow Ridgians with their purple skin and purple hair tied in elaborate purple knots were, well, purple. Sparkle, bounced down the street, greeting everyone with a cheerful "Sparkle Sprinkles! Purple pleasure to meet you!" The Rainbow Ridgians blinked their purple eyes and replied in a chorus of clicks and whistles, which our universal translator helpfully decoded as, "Welcome, fellow purple being." Intrigued, Sparkle followed a particularly enthusiastic Rainbow Ridgian to the Purple Palace, the grandest building in the city. Inside, everything was, of course, purple. Purple thrones, purple tapestries, even a purple fountain gurgling with, you guessed it, purple water. Suddenly, a booming voice echoed through the hall. "Greetings, esteemed purple visitor. I am Rainbowius Maximus, Supreme Emperor of the Purple Planet." Sparkle whirled nervously. The Emperor was enormous, even purpler than the rest, and wore a crown studded with what looked like giant purple grapes. "Fear not, little one," the Emperor boomed, his voice shaking the very foundation of the palace. "We Rainbow Ridgians value all shades of purple. But tell me, why are you not entirely purple?" Sparkle sputtered, her circuits momentarily overloading. "Well, Emperor, I'm a robot, and robots typically come in," she peeked at her own shiny silver body. "Well, silver." A gasp rippled through the court. The Emperor's grape-studded crown wobbled. "A non-purple being? But that's impossible." Before Sparkle could explain, a small Rainbow Ridgian child tugged at the Emperor's robe. "But, Your Majesty," she piped up, "isn't the sky a different color than us? And the flowers have different shades too? Maybe different colors can be beautiful as well." The Emperor pondered this, stroking his purple beard. Slowly, a smile spread across his purple face. "Indeed, young one, perhaps we Rainbow Ridgians have been a bit too focused on our own shade. Maybe a splash of other colors could add some zest to our lives." And so a purple revolution began. Rainbow Ridgians started wearing mismatched socks, painting their houses in various shades of violet, and even planting a garden of exotic, non-purple flowers. Sparkle, the unlikely ambassador of diversity, was hailed as a hero, her silver body a shining beacon in the newly colorful city. As Sparkle blasted off, leaving a trail of purple and silver glitter, she knew that she'd left Rainbow Ridge a little less purple, but a whole lot more colorful. And that was a shade of awesome she could definitely get behind. And next, we have Beep Boop's Joyful Jingles in Melody Meadows. Sprocket the robot, a whirring ball of chrome with a perpetual grin, landed his spaceship on a world bathed in violet hues. "Melody Meadows," he declared, his voice a chipper beep boop. Everything from the fluffy lavender clouds to the bumpy amethyst cobblestones shimmered in shades of green. Beep Boop, who sported a jaunty purple propeller hat, felt right at home. He bounced down the street, his metallic feet clanking happily. He greeted a mailman with a giant green top hat and a basket overflowing with shimmering green envelopes. He even stopped for a green ice cream cone, which to his surprise tasted like fizzy blueberries. But soon, Beep Boop noticed something strange. Every sound from the bird song to the chatter of the green-skinned aliens was the same high-pitched ping. He tilted his head, confused. "Excuse me," he beeped to a nearby alien, "but why does everyone here sound like a happy doorbell?" The alien, a shopkeeper with a neatly trimmed green beard, chuckled. "Welcome to Melody Meadows, young robot. Here we speak Greenese, the language of pure joy." Beep Boop blinked his LED eyes. "Pure joy? How does that work?" The shopkeeper beamed. "Simple. We express all our emotions through joyful pings. A high ping means excitement, a low ping means sadness, but everything in between is just happy pings." Beep Boop was intrigued. He spent the day learning Greenese, pinging high for the delicious green pizza, pinging low for the wobbly bridge that almost made him fall, and pinging a confused medium-pitch ping when he couldn't figure out how to open a green door. Finally, he reached the grand green palace, its spires reaching toward the green sky. He pinged a high, hopeful ping, hoping to meet their ruler. The doors swung open, revealing a throne room made entirely of amethyst. On the throne sat a regal-looking alien adorned in green robes and a crown that sparkled. Beep Boop gave his best high-pitched ping, bowing respectfully. The ruler, however, frowned. "Your ping is impressive, young robot," she boomed with a surprisingly deep voice, "but it lacks nuance." Beep Boop's circuit's word, nuance? The ruler explained that true Greenese wasn't just happy pings, but a symphony of pitches expressing every emotion. She taught him to ping low and slow for sadness, high and fast for excitement, and everything in between for the richness of life. Beep Boop practiced diligently, his pings becoming a beautiful melody. He even used his new skills to help a lost alien child find its parents, with a series of low pings and a triumphant high ping at the reunion. When it was time to leave, Beep Boop pinged a heartfelt farewell, a bittersweet mix of high and low notes. He had learned that true joy wasn't just about happy pings, but about the full spectrum of emotions expressed in the beautiful language of Greenese. And his spaceship soared through the green sky, and Beep Boop knew he would never forget his adventure in the City of Joyful Pings.